This is where I gotta use all my size. Broad shoulders. It doesn't work for the arm though. I'm starting to think he set me up for that.
All right, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Fix My Game, presented by Kingz Kimonos. I'm here at Art of Jiu-Jitsu in Costa Mesa, California with Cole Abate himself. Cole just captured his first major at Black Belt Adult. How'd that feel overall, Cole?
Man, was amazing. It was the first one, and I feel like it's one that's going to be remembered forever because it's a special one. When you've been training ever since you were a kid, you always dream of that first title going onto your resume at Black Belt, and this was the first one. And I told people that yes, like I'm excited, yes, I'm happy, but I know that this is just the beginning of it all, and I still have so much more that I want to show and conquer, and my eyes are already set on that. So not dwelling too much in the moment, but for sure it was a good one.
All right, well I'm excited to learn maybe some of these techniques that help Cole capture his first major. So.
All right, let's do it.
Are you ready? I'm born ready. We didn't get to that part yet.
There it is.
Yeah, getting close on that.
I was waiting for it. Guard probably gonna love that one.
I gotta use all my size. Broad shoulders. It doesn't work for the arm though.
Straight from Noogie Pants Finals. That was the one.
Yeah, it was. I'm starting to think he set me up for that. All right. Thank you, Cole.
Good stuff.
I know I'm really bad at leg entanglements, but one thing that I felt like you were doing to me the whole time is just sucking me in. Anytime we started to get into a leg entanglement, you're just constantly sucking me in.
Right,
You kind of had the next step on me every time, where you're always like, I think I'm gonna roll through. You already captured, moved on
Right.
to the next step. So
Yeah, I think one thing that's I found to be more important over the years, and just seeing the evolution overall with like leg attacks. I think in the beginning, people had less of the approach of like what a counter would be. Like I think initially you saw people, like whenever they did start doing counters to leg attacks, they looked more for back takes and things like that. And now I feel like people are trying to counter the leg attacks with submissions that take your focus away from the attack itself. So one thing I'm more focused on doing now, whenever I'm using leg attacks to try to get to a better position or get to the submission itself, is be more aware of submission attacks that are happening. So if you notice, every time I was entering your legs, there was always, of course my feet are working, but one hand is always controlling either leg, the one I'm trying to get to, while the other one is keeping your head away. So like during the round, like jokingly you were talking about how you've been working about the headquarters position.
yeah,
So that's a position where I feel like people a lot of times will overcommit to a leg attack, but then get front headlocked or get underhooked, which is what I was doing a couple times from top. So one thing I try to focus on every time I'm right here is keeping the head away, right? Like a lot of times people will have this grip already because they try to go shin to shin.
Yeah.
So let's start from the beginning. Like a lot of times somebody's coming in shin to shin. You pummel the leg to the inside to make sure I'm not getting underneath, and we land here. We get stuck here all the time. Now the problem is people want to focus so much on this leg. A lot of times people will go for like a false read and they're trying to throw the leg over. Next thing you know, the person's already close, so they're going for rolling front headlocks, they're attacking kimuras. Just a dangerous spot, especially with somebody that has those submission attacks, a part of their game. So one thing I try to do whenever I'm here is I always try to keep this hand either on the shoulder or even better here. That way I can scoop my hips under using my feet. Get you going this way and have the hands away.
so angle
yeah,
right
so
there,
if I do go for a false sweep, I can. If I am able to pummel that leg in, I can. Like I just think that's something important. Less of a technique, but just more of a way of thinking that I think people that do have leg attacks part of their game got to start adding.
Yeah.
Because man, you see it all the time. Somebody's committing really hard for a leg attack. They're trying to get their leg over. The person's already close, and the next thing you know, they're getting front headlock.
Gotcha. Yeah.
The person's so close.
Kind of diving onto that head, rolling through. And
So every time I was attacking, I was trying to get his hands to the ground first or have your back on the ground. So if I can do any type of tripod sweep or any type of a sweep that will put your hips down first, you're a little bit further than me. So if I'm able to sit you down here and then find a K-guard or find double underhooks like this,
Yeah.
where now I can actually suck your leg in like you were saying you were feeling, right? This is a lot easier for me to deal with because you're further away from me.
right.
So every time somebody's close in like a knee slide or something like this, I'm not trying to attack your leg. Like so many people tell me, I get like a false reap grip, but I'm not able to get my leg over. The person's blocking this leg or they're controlling my ankle. Here isn't the right spot to go for it. Even if I did have it over, like you're still too close, you're gonna smash me, you're bigger than me. Like I'm gonna have to use more strength than necessary to get that technique to work. So I would rather, just using false reap as an example, because I feel like that's one people use a lot. I initially will start with a shin to shin. That's like one of my favorite entries, is to get underneath between both legs. But let's say he pummels the leg in. I can now bring my foot this way to keep him away. And then I'll use my elbow and this rocking motion to the side to get him going this way. I place almost like a Deli Evo hook underneath on this side, and then now I can start throwing the leg up and over and then getting through.
Gotcha. So just always thinking, maintaining that space where I can't start getting on your head, but also posting.
Yes.
So, because obviously I can't use my hands if I'm posted. So.
Yep. And then if you are the person on top,
Or you're on top.
you need to do the exact opposite. So let's say you're on your back, you're trying to get me here, right? This is ideal for you. Okay? So if I'm in that headquarters position where you pummel the leg in and you're kind of like here, I need to do the opposite. I need to try to get closer to your head. One of the best ways of doing that is finding an underhook on this arm. This is something that I'm using a lot right now. I actually did it in my finals this last weekend at hand, but it's getting an underhook on either side.
Cole back on top of the underhook. Good position here for Cole Abate.
Going full send on it.
Can he get
Could
the
be
finish?
it.
There it is.
So sometimes the underhook will be here, sometimes it won't. If it is there, you can find it and then bring everything this way, right? If the person's already got a tight grip around that front leg, sometimes it's not there. I start making posts with this one by leaning forward. So remember, the person on bottom has to push, right? You have to do that. That's why I prefer to have the arm here. It's a little bit safer.
Are you like going right here in the armpit or just through
Right on
it?
the lap.
Right in the lap? Okay.
And now directly that way.
Gotcha.
Right? That's what you're trying to do. Of course, easier said than done, but you're trying to use your legs and that misdirection to get me going this way. Now, if I can make you post on my chest, if I can make you post here, I can now move away, tap, and then find that. I did this in our round. Post, and I fall to this side. I love this position because, one, I've got the height advantage, so if you try to come up right now, all I have to do is flare my elbow and pick you over. Right? And if I do, let's say worst case scenario, I'm late, you get up on top, I at least have a shoulder lock to work with. Right? Now I can start creating some distance, shooting submissions, stretching your arm, falling to either side. And then it can also just be like a passing connection, right? So I get here and I see that you're not able to come up, can hide that leg, switch my feet, and then now I'm coming back in to a deep knee slide, and I've got an underhook that I can work with for after the pass.
This is what you do a lot, right? Where you get that underhook and then you end up circling on top, going straight into an armbar.
Man, I love that underhook because you get so many people that say, I pass the person's guard, I get the side control, but the person just hunkers down.
Yeah.
They keep their elbows to their side or they're crossing their arms. Like it's the stereotypical guy just wants to hunker down and not get finished.
Right.
Right? If you just focus on your guard passes, you're going to pass people's guard, but you're going to get there. And like it or not, whenever we start getting sweaty like we are right now, it's hard to finish once you're past the guard. Now, if you can find a way to latch yourself onto an underhook or some sort of overhook or a control on the chin that keeps the person sideways when you pass, you have an easy pathway to that finish.
Okay.
Right? If you're thinking solely about, I'm going to pass the guard, then I'm going to go to mount, then I'm going to find a submission, I think it's harder that way. I think it's easier if you find the control that's going to build that submission before you're even past the guard. So if I'm able to find that underhook, like let's say we're here, boom, I got your shoulder. Now because I've got control of your shoulder and my shoulder's on the inside, I can put pressure on that arm so that once I land over here, try to go flat. Like it's hard. And you wouldn't even be trying to go flat anyway. You're going to try to wrestle up and get up on top. That's when I can throw a leg over. That's when I can free the leg, step over to the far side. But this control on its own is what brings me to the finish.
Gotcha.
So I think it's just a different way of thinking, and I find that helps me against tougher guys. Against tougher guys, it can be hard to set up a submission from scratch from side control. It can still be done, but definitely harder. Going back to that topic of trying to build the catch or build the control that you have during the pass so you can find a submission, you can do the same thing when attacking the legs. So what I want to show right now is how you can combine passing with an inside heel hook.
Okay.
So if you watch a lot of my passing, if you watch a lot of Professor Papa's passing, which I feel I inspire my game a lot after, we use a lot of leg drags, in gi and no gi. And I think in no gi, it's one of those positions where you can rest in, but still be at an advantage. So this leg drag isn't the generic 2 hands on one leg, hip in, and then drag across that you see people drill. Right? Instead, this one's just gonna be a regular like open hand C grip on the ankle. I can be holding both sides and I just move off to the side to create an angle and then step in. Whether I'm on my feet or on my knees here in this position, I can be resting, but now you're in a bad position to play guard. Nobody likes playing guard with the legs on the outside of the hip. Now in no-gi, since we are allowed to do heel hooks at the highest level, this foot will always be there. And now you've got two options. For you to make sure that your leg is safe, you're gonna need to turn your knee this way. Anytime somebody's going for, let's go to saddle. Anytime somebody is going for a heel hook, you're gonna turn your knee this way so that you can run and escape. Right? Start trading frames and moving your knee line. Now, if you do that same thing from here, if we get here and you try to do that same thing, you're giving me a leg drag. And that hand, because it was already resting there on your thigh, just shoves the leg past my elbow so I can get through and finish a leg drag. Now, when you combine those two ideas together, if you're defending the leg drag, you're gonna hip escape. And then now you're giving me the heel. So it's one of the two. The person's gonna give one of the two. If I can land here, like I feel pretty good. And it's pretty easy to set up. So you're just kind of using your Toriando outside passing so you can get here. Now I can step in. I don't have to do much of my legs except pinch my knees. And I trace your shin with my elbow till I feel your big toe. Now I can fall. And by the time I'm already laying back and connecting hands, elbows coming in, that's one way to finish. Or you bring your leg up and over and you go right into a big bridge. And this is the one I hit in my semifinals match at Pans.
Against Ismail?
Yes. So we're here. I put him down, switch to these grips, moved around, and then now look how I take a step in and I catch.
Whenever you drag this, are you focused on pinching it right here between your chest and your thigh? Is
So my
that
hands aren't doing anything.
right?
It's the posture that's keeping your leg in place. So it's exactly that. Your posture, keeping your head low, is what you keep the leg locked in place. And then like here you should be able to rest. If this doesn't feel comfortable, you can do the same thing from your knees. That's why it's easy to lock from here too. And sometimes I'll even like prefer being here because I'm already lower.
Yeah.
It's just less distance to cover. But then now once you're here, if you go try to hand fight with me, my leg will come over your arms and I'll break.
Okay.
I could even bring my heel like across your hip line like this. This foot can go on your stomach and then I can bridge that way. If you prefer that way. I feel like I usually go here and then go into a bridge.
This is the usual finish for you right here?
I like connecting feet together, open the knees, because now look at how much further I can bridge.
Yeah.
When my feet aren't connected, can't really
harder.
bridge as far. So butterfly, connect feet to feet, or foot to foot, and then open the knees, bridge, and then look over the shoulder.
Gotcha.
Yep.
That's good stuff. You mind if I try that?
100%.
You have to talk me through this.
All right.
So I'm here to start.
Create
You're
an
just
angle?
creating the angle, and then
Good.
right there. And you kind of keep the angle, like your body.
Less of a squat and more of like a hinge forward.
Gotcha. Just kind of like this.
Yep. And then now you're gonna step this foot close. Now trace my shin with your elbow till you feel my big toe. Boom. Now pinch the knees and fall straight back. Boom. Fall less backwards and more into me. Imagine you're doing a suplex.
Okay.
So bring your hips in and sit. Yes. Yep.
It's hard for a athlete media.
Trust it. But let me show you one more time.
Yeah. I'm not committing, huh?
Okay, it's all good. Here. Step. Troll. Knees together. Trace. And then now look how my hips are coming in.
Yeah, you never lose connection at all right here.
See, I think most people, when they're falling back, like remember, for you to defend, you need to escape your knee. So the further away I am, like the better for you.
Yeah.
Even if let's say I do have it, like scoot your hips back, like here I have no heel hook because your knee is out. The closer I can be to your hips, the more distance you're gonna have to cover to be able to take that knee out. And because this arm is opening up, it's hard for you to point your leg that way anyway.
Yeah.
Sometimes what'll even happen, like I'll be here, I'll be committing to it, and then I feel the person turn their knee, other way, like to defend. Yeah, like this. Let's go back. So as soon as I start threatening the heel, turn your knee, and then I'll come to the leg drag.
Gotcha.
So like that's how you combine those two. Back on top.
You're creating a dilemma where it sucks either way for me, obviously. You know.
You pick your poison.
Here.
Step in. Boom. Step in. Good. Good. And one thing that I think is important too, that I feel makes it a little bit more effective, if you can find the heel before you initiate your fall, it's even better.
Okay.
Because a lot of times people will use this position just to fall back for a saddle, right? But if you just fall straight back from here, like, I'm just gonna defend, right?
So if I can come in, get the heel.
Yes. Good. Now point your knees up towards the ceiling. pinch. Now, slowly drag your elbow in towards my hips. So this one's different. That's the bridging finish. That's what you would do. That's correct. But for this one, let me just show you. There's 2 finishes I use. I use the bridge where you're focusing more on your hips, and this one where you do an uppercut. I could even have like one hand. I could have one hand over here and then finish with one hand on the heel. My elbow comes in.
Gotcha.
You see how my elbow comes forward, but I fall.
Yeah.
Right? And then when I lock hands, it just kind of supports it, reinforces it.
So cheating that in, but staying like almost.
Yeah, so my hand, you see my hand stays shallow, right? You're not going to that bicep grip that slips all the time. So you're trying to stay here. But then the only thing that's changing is the elbows coming forward, and then you're falling to your back.
You can feel how strong that is. It's a very.
If you drill this on somebody, you'll know if it's tight or not because the person will start lifting their hips up.
Yeah,
right? They want to lift their hips up to relieve pressure.
Yeah.
Make sense?
For sure.
Try. Yep. Pinch loose. Good. Now bring that elbow in. Yep. Slide it. Don't hop it. Slide it forward. Yeah, like that.
Okay.
Yep. And slowly fall. Tap. There it is.
Nice.
That one will get you fast.
Yeah. Can we try that just to finish again?
Uh-huh.
So I'm here. Boom.
Slide in.
Slide it.
Keep going. Keep following. Keep following. When you do it, fall too. Like let your back fall. That's it. Tap.
Okay, sick.
And then you do it freaking lightning speed and you'll catch people, right?
And then I win some majors,
Yeah.
huh?
No, that's one that once you get the timing, it's really hard to defend. And like I said, if they defend, they're given the pass.
Yeah.
And you can bounce back between those two.
Sick.
Cool.
Yeah, I think has some good stuff right there. Is there anything else, Cole? Anything you want to shout out? What do you got coming up, man?
Yeah. So it's November right now. It's the week after the competition. So now I've still got Nogi Worlds, and then I've also got my first match with 1FC, so that should be the week before Nogi Worlds. So 2 big ones coming up, and excited to finish the year off with a bang.
Let's go, man. All right, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Fix My Game. A little jiu-jitsu on the rocks with Ice Cole, you know. Thanks for watching. Thank you to Kingz Kimonos for sponsoring this one. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Keep up with Cole, everything he's got going on, but we'll see you in the next episode.